What's good? Lucky Lefty Podcast, Onora Boys in the building, brought to you by ONORA Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey. It's OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, you have to make sure that you do it
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. Let's go.
Break it down. Bag it up. Break it up. Break it up. Bag it up. Bag it up. Break it up. Break it up. Bag it up. Bag it up. I tell my break it up.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Happy Friday to everyone out there. Man, we hope you have had an incredible week. Hope you have a great Saturday, great schedule of college football that we'll talk about and give our predictions. Malik's three keys, free snap read coming up. We'll hear from Al Golden, Mike Denbrock, Jeremiah Love, other Notre Dame players, Emil Wagner. As always, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, audio edibles each and every day, patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter X, Lucky Lefty Pod. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button because it helps with the views. We appreciate you guys. We continue to grow. Leave your comments and questions because we respond to all your comments and questions are always, whether during the chat or the live show or afterwards, absolutely fantastic. We're the home of the misguided passion. We won't stop. I don't want to say the dude's name that coined that phrase because he's in a little bit of trouble right now, but we won't stop.
Sheesh.
Forever committed to making sure that we spin it different.
Come on.
What's good? What's up, baby boy?
We here, man. It's another good
Go
Friday.
ahead, bro. Go ahead, man. Let me tell you something. My brother hit me with the most ridiculous text of all time. Go ahead, man. So we get to your three keys. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had a little taste of Chicago out in Arizona, supposedly, allegedly. I had a good wing review, to talk about Chicago food, but apparently it's not quite the city. It's not quite the taste of the city. It's the taste of the outskirts of the city, and for sure it was an outskirt taste. So we got to talk about that. Duke's chicken wings, taste of Chicago, supposedly, and it was kind of disheartening. They had two fried. The grease was already burnt, so the grease being burnt and you're frying chicken in it, it's not a good combo. So they tried to cover it up by putting the sauce on top, but that's just not how you get it done. They can be good wings with sauce on top, but not saucy wings, if you know what I'm saying. So, it was definitely a 6 out of 10. I think SHAUN would be very disappointed that they were representing the city of such a great food culture to represent that food truck like that. So, Dukes, I don't know if y'all in the city of Chicago like y'all say that y'all are, but hey, it's got some imposter wings going around, and I don't think you appreciate that.
I have questions. And,
we don't want to talk about the pricing either. The pricing was very Chicago-like. $35 for 15 wings. Who's doing that?
Now wait a minute. Was this a festival? You said a taste.
No, this is
what do you mean?
This is just the common food truck that's out there. This is highly talked about around the city. They pop up
around what city?
Around Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're
not talked about at all in Chicago.
They're highly talked about around the city. So when they pop up somewhere near you, they generally have a huge line. But I was very highly and confused by this taste. Because I didn't think that was the taste of Chicago that SHAUN talks about. SD2 Mike's recommends highly, because they sit on the top of the Michelin star chart for food. And to misrepresent Chicago like that, I have some questions too. I mean, they had the whole truck decked out in the skyline of the city, like they in downtown next to the Bean. But I don't know. They claiming Chicago, but hey, they could be Naperville.
Look, I did some research. There is this franchise is so far north of the city of Chicago It's like those suburbanites that never lived one day inside the city limits, but want to
Not
come
one
to
day?
Chicago, not one day. But when they go elsewhere, they quickly say, "I'm from Chicago." No, you're from Naperville. You know what I mean? You're from Zion. You're from Zion Bennett. You're from Warrenville. You're from Aurora. Yeah, I mean, that's
Aurora, not that far.
Schaumburg. Like, dude, you're not from Chicago. I get this all the time. This dude left text me, and I'm like, I had never heard. I thought you were talking about the mayonnaise, bro. I thought you were asking me a man. You were like, yo, we got to talk about this Dukes. I'm like, did you put the mayonnaise on your burger or something?
They had $35 lamb chops, $35 15 wings. They had the fries and the wings for $15. I mean, the prices was ridiculous.
See, no true chicken spot is serving lamb chops, bro. See, that's a problem. You have to learn how to set. See, that's like I told you the story about my cousin who went to Hooters and ordered some crab legs. Like, bro, you don't order crab.
You can't. I don't even know how that's on. That's on the menu just to say we have it. Not to order.
That's funny. That's funny. No, I've never heard of Dukes. I had to look it up. The fact as a longtime Chicagoan, lifetime Chicagoan, I had to look the place up. Like, you know everything you need to know. So, I don't care what they're out there lying about. They're
lying about.
Yeah, they're out there lying like NIL collectives.
Yeah, I didn't see the after effects of some of them lies on some of these players but I mean, $13 million for Jaden Rashada to go to Florida. I could have told them they wasn't gonna give him that. You know how long it took Florida to get a new facility?
Man, that's a lot of things popping off from an administrative standpoint, dude. This super conference that might be coming with 2 leagues, which I mean, that's NFL. I mean, that's NFL model. Yeah, that's NFL model.
Because what they want to do is start trading players and having free agents and stuff. That's what they want to get to, because then that way they can curb the whole NIL freelance. Like your top player can't go to lonely SMU or something and get paid a whole bunch of money for low quality football, So the super conferences is what we expected, or what I expected, because the money came into play. And the only model that's making it work right now is the professional league. So they're going to copy close to that.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, as always, Fridays, it's Malik's 3 Keys, brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. The Stanford Cardinal, the last time they invaded Notre Dame Stadium with David Shaw on a Saturday night, boy, David Shaw had a big grin on his face, knowing he had just got away with one and knowing he was on the way out the door. He was like, I got it. I won my last matchup against Notre Dame. Had to feel good. 16-14, turnovers, undisciplined play, penalties, you name it, it existed. One of the most embarrassing losses in Marcus Freeman's tenure. They come back. Troy Taylor, his offensive playbook. This will be fun for me again. It was fun to watch Al Golden go up against Jeff Brom. It's going to be fun watching Al Golden, who gave Troy Taylor immense respect this week. You'll hear that when we play the clips of Al Golden when he met with the media this week. But what are your 3 keys heading into this matchup with Stanford, who's fresh off a home drubbing at the hands of Virginia Tech, who, by the way, Virginia Tech, they should have beat Miami. And Virginia Tech is a pretty decent team. So I don't just want to dismiss the fact that they got beat by Virginia Tech like they were playing scrubs. Virginia Tech, the week before, shows you they have the talent to be able to beat anybody on any given day.
The decent team is Colorado, because apparently they can be the only one-loss team in America unranked when you have a whole slate of games of one-loss teams that are top 10, top 25. We talk about Ole Miss is 4-1. They're number 9. How is that possible? So
that's your intro to your 3 keys.
I'm just saying this Dion thing is going a little bit too crazy. But the 3 keys for this weekend are real simple. I think the first key starts with the offense and Riley Leonard. coming off of this bye week, we're expecting to see something different, something improved, and something better than the weeks before, especially in that passing department. So I'm going to boost it up to a 230 passing yard game plus a couple of touchdowns. I'm saying it's going to be 3 because you're coming out of half. You're coming out of a revamping situation, an extra couple throws. 230
through
touchdowns.
the air. So that means he's throwing the ball over 30 times then.
Over 30. I mean,
no, he's a volume shooter now. We came to that realization. If he's gonna get to 230, it's a lot of passes going in the air.
But I think the passes this week is gonna be a little different. I think they're gonna be more deep shots than short stuff. Okay. And that's how he's gonna get to 230 and 3 touchdowns and activate this passing game against a porous secondary that Stanford has, which I think will be a good opportunity for Riley to earn his stripes this game. You're coming after a bye week. We're expecting to see you not lead the team in rushing, but lead the team in passing because you're not even doing that. I still doubt that. So we would love to see him be able to reach that milestone and become the Notre Dame quarterback that we wanted, that we paid for. Let's put it like that. So 230 and 3 touchdowns. I got the first key of the game for Riley Leonard in a Denbrock offense that is starving. When you're talking about a coordinator that just had 4,500 yards, 2 first-round receivers, and a Heisman, he's starving for some yards in the passing game, and I think he's been able to scheme that up well, having 2 weeks instead of 1 with a quarterback has been limited in his own ability. So that's what I'm expecting. First key. Second key, for us, especially special teams, I would like us to have a special teams impact, a special teams touchdown, maybe a pump block for a touchdown, something in the special teams department to change the momentum of the game, which we didn't have when we lost to David Shaw previously at Notre Dame at a night game. Very disappointing, but
one of Aldrich's worst games too.
Terrible. And I think that this special teams touchdown, wherever it comes from, kickoff return, punt block, touchdown, punt return, something in that manner, I think is what is going to, in this game, which has always been a highly intelligent back and forth between Notre Dame and Stanford, not last year, but previous years, I think we really can get on them and make a change for a third phase of our game that we seem to that we seem to give as charity. Let's not treat special teams as charity this week and try to get a touchdown and activate it. Have a lot of confidence in Coach Biaggi to be able to put the right guys there and coming off of a bye week, the things that you weren't so good at, we should be good at. So that's number 1 or number 2. The third thing I would love to see is for our defense to hold the Stanford running game under 100 yards. I mean, if we do that, we're talking about a blowout at this point, and it's something we really need. Okay, let me tamper it. Let's say 130, under 130, because 100 is a lot to ask for. We're going to give you a 40-yard leeway. We'll give you 40 yards, but 130, under 130 yards rushing, which is still a lot. But if we're able to limit them and make Stanford one-dimensional, I don't believe they can beat us just passing the football. We know we got a stellar secondary, but that's the crux of where our defense needs to get better at. And we stop the run, but it's overtime, and we need to be able to shut the run off early, which gives our offense more opportunities for Riley to get some passing touchdowns. So those happen to be the 3 keys of the game, and I think those 3 keys not only have us look different as a football team, but propel us the right way out of a bye week so we can sustain this success getting into the playoffs.
Those are his 3 keys. The original Lucky Lefty, Malik ZAIRE, brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. Next up, Malik's pre-snap. His pre-snap read of the offense coming out of a bye week. What's going to improve and what to expect from Notre Dame when it comes to getting Riley Leonard comfortable, improving in the passing game. You already said 230 yards is what you're expecting, and your 3 keys through the air. So what's the pre-snap read on things we should see and expect from the Notre Dame offense?
Now, these are all biased because, these are my opinions of what should it look like. And I think we should see a little more of a lighter box due to us having some guys spread out. I think we've tried the whole hunker down, put a lot of guys in the box to try to protect the run. But I think, loosen that thing up a little bit. Maybe try a couple 5 wides. Show Stanford something different. Because if anything, coming out of a bye week, you want to work on breaking tendencies. And we've been very tendency heavy these last 5 weeks because that's what we've been able to do good. So now that we had a week to really work on what can break our tendencies, I think having some more empty sets and some lighter interior boxes for us will look good for not only Riley to be a playmaker with his feet when things don't look right for him, but also challenge him to put the red jersey on and throw the football. I think that's something that can help Denbrock get that. Okay, we tried 5 wide, we went 12, 13 tight ends. Now what's the middle? So I think if anything, for offense, we need to see that on film so we know how to adjust and still be able to put together an effective game plan. Because right now, these last 5 games, in my opinion, are pushing towards getting ready to have a playoff run with multiple different aspects offensively to score points. I don't believe the first 5, 6 weeks that we've had is conducive enough to be electric and dynamic in the playoffs, because you're looking across these teams that are potential playoff teams or top 10 to 15 teams right now, they're scoring points. They're scoring points against anybody.
Facts.
Even the Georgia Alabamas, that was a 34-40 game or something like that. So for us to even cross that threshold, we got to get into the 30s heavily. And I think with that is going to have to come with a combination of Riley not being the lead rusher, but also us challenging ourselves to throw outside the hash more often and down the field more often. So that's what I'm expecting offensively. Defensively, I want to see a bigger defensive line presence. Where's the captains at? Where's Howard Cross and Riley Mills and those seniors? Jason Onyé. I don't think Jason Onyé is a senior, but some of those other veteran guys making an impact on the D-line, because that's the second part of what I think needs to become more dynamic if we want to go anywhere in the playoffs, is having a presence up front. Our linebackers have done a good job of flashing and making plays throughout the year, but that's not going to hold up well if the offensive line on the other side is getting to the second level easy. So it's going to be important for the D-line to make a presence. We're not saying y'all got to be lights out, but we have to have a certain standard where losing a guy like Boubacar, losing a guy like Patello, we can step in and be next man up and be effective in having the quarterback in the pocket compromised, which will help also in turn the run game, the run defense. Obviously, Al Golden does a great job of scheming and putting together different blitzes to get offenses on their toes. But sometimes just a pure physical force up front can alleviate a lot of the mental stamina you need under Al Golden defense, trying to figure out how to get pressure, how to hit home, how to get in the backfield, because the secondary is holding up well. But how long does that last against legitimate offenses? Not the offenses that are having good weeks, but legitimate offenses with legitimate receivers that, Ben Morrison and the crew may have a challenge with. I mean, hell, we haven't faced a challenge out there yet. We did a little bit with Louisville, and they, put some things together, but they're not even in the top 10. We're talking about top 10 offenses, guys that are going to get drafted, being the New York at some point. So we definitely need some support for our secondary, which in turn will make our secondary look even better because they're good now. But we saw what Ja'Cory Brooks can do as a potential top 10 receiver, and he was getting off and he was open a lot. Wasn't like he wasn't open. He was definitely open. Now, we made plays and he dropped a couple that gave us some opportunities, but it still requires our D-line to get enough pressure to rattle the quarterback, to create some dense pockets so it can present more opportunities for guys to make plays defensively. And it has to be from the D-line, because everywhere else I think has proven coming out of camp that we everything we said is coming true about our second half of the defense. And linebackers are flying around. Secondary is one of the better units on the team, if not one of the best. Young guys, old guys, all playing solidly well, especially when you're seeing some of these teams win bigger games down the road. Texas A&M has been the biggest. Everybody else has been kind of in the middle of the road, but this is the second half of the season to really prove a lot.
Yeah, just looking now, they do have a good rush defense, but a lot of teams have just really been going after their secondary, the poor secondary that you spoke of in your three keys left. So pre-snap, looking at this game, Notre Dame probably needs to come out and open up, right? And Mike Denbrock said something about that in the focus when we hear from him coming up in a few minutes that might kind of lean towards what you talked about when it comes to a pre-snap of what we might see from an early Notre Dame attack against the Stanford Cardinal.
I'm telling you, we speaking prophetically these days.
Hey, Lef, you on your team. You on your team.
Have to look at the interview to know what's going on.
You're on your team, Lef. You're on your team. Hey, by the way, so Cree Thomas, Brophy Prep, same school that produced Benjamin Morrison. They have a bye week, so of course he's on campus for the game this week. I think that article is going to be up tomorrow morning over at Irish Breakdown. I had a good conversation with him. Really smart kid. You had time with him when you both worked at the Benjamin Morrison camp at Brophy. It was like June 1st.
They're not that good. We might be able to get him over at Saguaro.
I was just about to ask you. I was talking to him. They're 5-1 this season. They won 5 in a row. Then they just lost. Is it Basha out of Chandler?
Out of Bash. Bash is actually really good.
Bash is good.
The state.
Okay.
We would beat Brophy.
They only lost by 3 though.
Yeah, for sure. Basha won the state last year with Desmond Williams, who's at Washington. Mm-hmm. Nice little QB to look out for. Hopefully the transfer portal come Notre Dame at some point. But Brophy has a really well-built team. Like they have a 20-plus coaches. They got Donovan McNabb's son, Larry Fitzgerald's son. The quarterback isn't that good. But, if he comes over to the good side, we can train him up. You know what I'm saying? This is just advertisement. We can train you up. We can get you right. But
sounds like Cree can relate then to his future team then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well-built team, quarterback.
Yeah. They're on the sorrier side. But, I think that comes with, you got to challenge your quarterback to elevate his play. And, this whole simplifying the offense thing, I'm not a fan of it. I'm more on the Tom Brady side. Teach more football instead of making it easier to play because it looks like a worse product when you're on a grade level of 1 out there in big-time football. It just doesn't mix well, never works out very well. It doesn't get the players any better, and you just leave questioning what this is all about. You're cheapening the game. It's like when they took away hand checking basketball. Now ain't nobody playing defense. So nobody moving their feet. You know what I mean? So you get these, international players that come in, got skills because their defense is tougher. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get the Luka Doncic and the Jokic's and stuff. So, we one step at a time.
Man, let me tell you something. I'm super excited to see. Like this should be Notre Dame fans. I hope this is like Christmas Day for you guys, and you're unwrapping a brand new offense. That's what I hope.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I hope for real. I'm praying and hoping that. All right, that's on my prayer list right there. An unveiling of a totally different Notre Dame offense for Notre Dame fans tomorrow against Stanford. Start October off with a bang. That's on GC's prayer list for you.
Prayer list.
Man. All right, Lef. Al Golden and Mike Denbrock, as always, met with the media this week. And let's go ahead and hear from Al Golden. He threw a lot of flowers at the feet of one Troy Taylor. How he calls plays, his offense, how complex it is, and how challenging it's going to be. He was asked about the defense, but also the linebackers and how they got better during the bye week. And this is what he had to say.
Improving. We've identified some things we need to fix. Obviously had a little chance to breathe last week and see how people are attacking us. We think there's some things that we can do that can help them become better, become more productive. So, and then just continue to prepare, just make the game small through your preparation, play fast, and enjoy it, enjoy the battle.
And then Stanford had some super wide splits last year. I guess what are some of the challenges or unique opportunities that presents the defense? Yeah,
I think great deal of respect for their head coach and obviously the way they conduct their offense. A lot of schematic issues. You mentioned a few there. but there's a lot of them. They present a lot of different challenges to you. They use the width of the field, splits you talked about, different formationing, motions. They do a really good job, and they have the players to do it, whether it's the running backs or the tight ends, and they make it challenging for sure.
You gotta love Al Golden. He got a little Lou Holtz in him, bro. Every opponent is dangerous.
Yeah,
Every single opponent is dangerous.
yeah, we love Al Golden, man. He's always gonna give us the nice hype video to think that the other team is gonna come in and be a quality opponent, and then he goes out there and holds them to under 20 points. I think he does it because he knows what he's about to do to them, and so he boosts them up, and then we play above the boost. He just looks even better each and every week, and I think that's his probably psychological advantage to convince people they're really good when he knows they're not that good, and then when we shut them down and hold them under the season lowest, then he's like, well, we just had a good day. So I think that's a great coach speak.
Ultimately, I love hearing that they focus on some things that will improve. Nothing is better than experience when it comes to football players, right? Of course, coaching, but I'm glad they were able to focus on how teams were attacking their linebackers. But teams definitely were attacking their linebackers with motion and attacking their eyes in the running game. And when you don't have a solid interior defensive line that you can depend on, in my opinion, to allow your young athletes to be able to run downhill and be destructive, which is what they want to do and what they can do. We've seen that. It's good to hear that they identified those things. It really is, because that's really the only thing that teams could really do. That's really the weak spot. Let's go after the young linebackers or the interior of this defensive line and try to run the ball, keep their offense off the field, shorten the game.
And that's going to get old quick because our linebackers are slowly but surely getting better each and every week to where they're not the easy point out for an offense to attack. And I think making that change off of a bye week and breaking tendencies, it goes back to Al Golden having some tendencies and finding ways to maybe appear the same but come out in a different result. I think we'll still be aggressive. But like I said, I think a lot of it stems from the D-line being more active, being more productive. Where's R.J. Oben at? He's about as productive as, the other guy from Duke. So I do think that it's been important that they've acknowledged it, which I know a guy like Al Golden will. And now it's time to see more results.
Which Duke, well, that's not even fair. I was about to say which Duke transfer has been more disappointing. That's not even a fair
poll. Not even a fair, yeah.
No. Lucky Lefty podcast. Al Golden then talked about the injuries at defensive line. They do get Gabriel Rubio back soon on the interior. Josh Burnham returns on the edge for them. They lose Jordan Botello. They lose Boubacar Traore. They lose the best tackle they had offensively to start the season. Then they lose their best edge players, both of them. They were the best. They were playing the best out of all the edge players all year. They lose both of them to season-ending injury. The rotation at the defensive line, what is it looking like? How are you guys looking coming out of the bye?
I like the rotation. It's not as deep as it was. So I like the rotation, but I also like to see some other guys step up and earn some more playing time. So however that shakes out, early downs, third down, 2-minute, short yardage, goal line, whatever it takes. We need more guys down the stretch than we had in when we opened up against A&M. We need more guys to step up now this time of year, and I'm speaking to all positions, not just the D-line.
Yeah, I mean, he mentions the D-line specifically because that's who needs to do it first. Let them be the line leader and change of what we want to see on the defense, and everybody else will follow. Now, that's metaphorically, that's reality, that's any type of way you want to look at it. That's where it starts. And I think him challenging that in the press is alerting, obviously, Al Washington and those guys, yeah, we need more. We're not saying you're doing a bad job. We just need more.
Oh, man. Well, I'll go ahead and throw that 100 yards sub rushing game defensively on the prayer list. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that on the prayer list. I need to make that request known. But you know what? The scripture says you have to pray and believe when you pray.
Don't just throw it out there.
Give me a second, Left. Let me muster up some belief right quick. All right, I got you. It's on the prayer list, man. I believe they're going to shut them down. They're going to hold them to 80 yards or less. I'm going to go ahead and say that. 80 yards or less. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I'm going to speak that thing. I'm going to speak that thing. I'm going to be bold. I'm being bold, Left.
80, yeah, 80's bold.
I'm being bold.
We haven't held a team to 80 probably what? Since last year, the year before.
It's probably been a minute. It's been a minute.
I mean, Miami had 100.
So the second bye, you know, Notre Dame has 2 byes, right? And Al Golden was asking about the benefits of the first bye, which he had spoken about. And then he was asked about, so what are the benefits of that second bye for your defense? Al Golden is only Al Golden can respond to a question.
And think that far ahead. I don't even know who's after this one. To be honest with you, it's all hands on deck for Stanford. We've had some, they had us on the ropes early last year. The year before, they beat us. So we know what's at stake, and we know what's coming in here. It's a rivalry game, and that's where our focus needs to be on. But I certainly look at as many opponents as I can when we're not working or when we're off, and that's what we did last week. And now it's just, early downs today on Stanford, get ready for third down tomorrow, and move, see if we can't get better moving forward.
Okay, let me call Cap on Al Golden real quick. The coach speaks. So this is when you get caught up in your coach speak. Sounds good, but when your head coach comes out Monday and says we start working on Navy during the bye week, you can't sit here and tell us
You don't know
that you can't see. Stop. Coach Golden, stop.
Can't get us with that one.
No, you can't get us with that one. I don't know. I don't even know who's next. Come on, man.
Come on, the
man.
schedule's everywhere.
You spent the bye week working on another team 2 weeks out.
Yeah, the schedule's on the wall when you walk in. We know you know. We know you know. But, that's why you got reading press conferences. But this goes back to Marcus Freeman, man. Marcus Freeman being there speaking too freely. You're too free out there, Marcus Freeman. Speak within. Get some coach people from Al Golden. Y'all should talk before he go out there. How about that?
Coach Go, he's consistent though. That's exactly what he's gonna give you. Hey man, I'm all about this game. I don't even know. Man, he's the best. Lucky Lefty podcast. But no, yeah, coach, come on, man. You couldn't get us on that one. We know you're looking ahead, right? You're preparing for.
You should. You should, because we walking into something now that it shouldn't be a big game, but because they're hot right now, it's gonna be drummed up as that emotionally. But it's still an academy school, and we still a very talented team that should win this game.
Man, smack these dudes around. Let's keep it a buck. 23-point favorites. Walk in there and smack these dudes around.
Well, Stanford or Navy?
Both. From opening kickoff. Smack them around. I think every Notre Dame fan wants to finally see that show up this year. Set the tone. Don't take your foot off the pedal and smack teams around. Don't do that against Purdue, who's not going to win another game this year. So that Purdue performance means nothing to me, because Purdue's not winning another game. They're that bad. Remember I asked the question after that win? I said, was this more about us or more about Purdue being awful? And we're starting to learn that Purdue was awful. Absolutely awful.
Well, we made them awful. I don't think you can recover from a 66 point loss like that at home.
They've gotten spanked like that by just about every team they played.
It's not 66.
They're still consistently awful.
Yeah, I'm saying we set that trend for them.
When they play a close game, let me know.
Oh. Let you know they ain't even close, huh?
And guess who they play this Saturday?
Ohio State. No. They play Michigan or something.
The Fighting Illini, baby. I can't wait.
Y'all coming off a tough loss now.
Get us, hey, Notre Dame, get off. Give us a piece of that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let us get a piece of that.
Y'all coming off a tough game. Y'all coming off a tough loss, though.
We the tag team. Dude, listen, hey, we're the tag team champs. Tag me in. Tag me in. Tag me in. So I can go to the top rope and finish them off.
Lord Jesus.
Get Ryan Walters up out of here. We already got Graham Harrell up out of here.
Yeah. You just
put
put
Ryan Walters up out of here and bring him back to Illinois. Come on back to Illinois. You don't need to be over there anyway.
Yeah, you down the wrong street. You gotta come back to
wrong place. Yeah, come on back. We got a spot for you. Assistant coach right here for you.
Brett Bielema was a great coach, man. I knew when I was at Wisconsin, always had a lot of faith. He was always a coach you knew at everything could be happening around him. They're going to be still solid. Mm-hmm. And Wisconsin was very solid them years even when Ohio State was really good and all of that, Wisconsin was right there the whole time.
You're right. You're right. Mike Denbrock left. This is what I've been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to let MALIK ZAIRE have his way. Pause. When it comes to responding to these clips. Just in case for those that are listening to the audio only. To make sure I put that in there.
It's for the radio. That was for the radio.
Yes. To make sure I put that in there. Mike Denbrock, what was the focus during the bye week and what should we expect from the offense? Let us know, Coach. Give us hope. Give us hope.
Deep into self-scouting was a big piece of what we did last week, just to make sure we're not showing too many things the same way and making sure we have enough variation to motions and alignments and some of the other things that we're doing. I think last week was also about continuing the progress that we really feel like we've made over the course and the momentum we've built over the course of the last couple of weeks, and looking to go into this week and continue that growth.
What's an area of the offense that might be doing a little better than what we all think, or just getting looked over in general?
I think there's a number of areas that you can see kind of solid improvement in. I think the thing that still kind of glares out to everybody is, our consistency throwing the ball down the field and making plays, passing the football. So I think that's something that we've addressed. I think it's something that the players have worked very hard on, and I think you can feel it coming. And I'm anxious for an opportunity for those guys to show all the hard work that they've put in.
Well, they've been working hard all year and all off season and all spring, and it hasn't showed yet. So, it's going to have to, in my opinion, be an attitude that they come out with where they're like, we're going to make it happen. We are who we say we are. We look in the mirror as kittens and we see lions. Don't look in the mirror as kittens and see kittens. And I think it's one of those things where we got to boost ourselves up, give ourselves some confidence. And confidence only comes through knowing what you're doing and having the preparation that you've done it a million times. With an extra week of practice, we should be closer to that by gaining confidence. And, we got to talk to Denbrock about all this hope stuff. I don't want to hope anything. You're there at practice every week, every day, putting in these game plans to not hope. Let's get something out of it and keep instilling in those guys what we need to go out there and do what we expect ourselves to do. Not nothing that we have to pull out of our butt, not nothing that we have to pull from the sky or pray for inspiration for. We still have talent on this offense, especially outside the hashes. We believe that there's talent in that quarterback. So it's about putting it together. And I'm telling you, a week at it, healed up, extra, like he said, we put in a couple more motions, a couple more tendency breakers, a couple more things to get the defense on their toes, we should still be able to fully be ready to take shots, especially with an O-line that's got a chance to rest another week. Guys feeling a little bit more fresh. Guys' feet up are still up under them, and we can run down the field and make some plays.
Yeah. Let's put up a shut-up time.
Really? I mean,
it's reached that point.
because we don't want to hear a bunch of hopes anymore. You know, it's hope for what? You putting it together. So yeah, for me, I do think that Denbrock's holding on. I think he's kind of like, I don't want to speak too fast, and then we go out there and not do what I'm seeing in practice. Because that's kind of the gun shy. That's where I think some of that hope comes from. Because he's like, man, it's looking good out here in practice. We hitting it, and then in the game, it's not what we talked about. So where is that coming from? What's going on in that aspect? So I think even Coach Denbrock's a little hesitant. I think he's still gonna call the plays how he gonna call them. But at the same time, I do think he's probably hoping that his team starts to believe in what they've been practicing this whole time.
Left, when he says they worked on some things to not do the same thing over and over, to make sure they're not giving the same looks that people can pick up on, things of that nature. Does that go into what you were talking about in your pre-snap reading, your 3 keys, as far as opening things up, not going to all of these tight formations that I think they felt like they had to because of the multiple issues offensively? It wasn't just a Riley Leonard issue. It was an offensive line issue, a tight end issue, and some other issues.
I do think that opening it up does give the defense a different look. And in a lot of cases for quarterbacks, especially like myself, when you go 5 wide and when you empty the backfield and get guys spread out, the defense is a lot easier to look at. The defense also has to play a lot more basic coverages and schemes because it's a lot of space they have to cover. And being in tighter formations, you can do a lot more defensively to confuse the O-line, to confuse the blocking, to get in different run windows and pass windows. If you spread it out 5 wide and empty the backfield, you get a chance to see a very straightforward look at the defense. And that could be good for a Riley Leonard who can run and make some plays with his feet and play off schedule when guys are running around and running down the field. So maybe I would love to see his rushing yards increase from that aspect, other than we pulling guards and designated QB runs and power plays and, watching him run downhill, because I just don't like seeing that from the quarterback position in college, because you just won't last long. Hell, I didn't even last long doing it. I didn't even like doing that. So it's something that I've been there before, and I know that it doesn't end well if that's our main source of rushing the football.
Mike Denbrock was also asked about the run game. Left. I'm going to set this up. What did we talk about with the run game? That was a shame.
That there's no reason why our quarterback has more rushing yards than our best running back on the team, very best offensive player on the team. That's just a stat that's hard to explain in the media, I'm sure, because it's like, what's the excuse for it? Is he that bad at passing that you have only reverted him to a straight running back over your own best player that's only going to be here for another year? So what does Dean McCullough say? Does he mention Dean McCullough? Does he say sorry to him every game that he's taking reps away from his backfield that are quite deserving of more carries as we speak now?
Well, this is what the OC had to say about the run game.
There's definitely a balance to it for sure, and I think a lot of it has to do with, sometimes the people that we're playing against in the scheme that they run defensively dictates a little bit more quarterback run than maybe you even want to do. But, these are important football games, and we need to win every one of them. So, Riley, I know, is 100% on board with the way that we've utilized him in the run game. Obviously, if we can be in a scenario where we feel comfortable game plan-wise, maybe not running him quite as much, we certainly would like to do that as well because we've got some very, very good running backs that can make explosive plays. So.
Coach, I'm curious from my perspective. We look at things like Stanford only allows 88 rushing yards per game, but you guys averaging over 200 per game. From your standpoint,
Are we?
Yeah,
That's good.
so
Okay.
from that standpoint, how do you attack it and stick to the game plan? You said you're an offensive line driven program. How do you stick to the game plan knowing what they're capable of?
Yeah, they're really good against the run, and they do a great job of kind of outnumbering you near the line of scrimmage and making sure they've got guys in positions to make plays. We've got to utilize. I think we've got some really good things in the scheme this week that will kind of offset a few of the things that they do. But it comes down to blocking people, locking on people, finishing blocks, and then running backs and or quarterback finding holes and making big plays. And I think we'll continue to do that in the running game. That's got to be kind of who we are and what we are until we continue to grow this passing game to the point where we kind of get it off the ground a little bit more. That's going to have to be what we lean on.
I mean, he just basically said his quarterback's so limited that we have to inch our way through each game because they're must-win games. They're only must-win because we know that we can't do everything we want to do yet. So in order to win the game, we have to do the most inch by inch, most efficient, non-gambling plays to get positive plays each time because we don't feel confident that opening things up can get us where we want to go because, it might lead us to turn the ball over or not being successful. And it's just like, listen, get the ball to Love. Get the ball to Love. You're facing a team that knows how to defend the run because they run the ball. Their defense is geared up physically to stop the run because they run the ball all the time. So what do you think they were doing in practice this whole spring, summer, off-season camp and games leading up? So they're going to be ready for our style of football that we've put on film, but we haven't put on film the other style of football that we have on the team. It'd be different if we were just super one-dimensional with no receivers. We're super one-dimensional, just not using the other part of our offense, which I think is the perfect storm to be able to go display how we can be a better football team in this first week after the bye week. I hope Stanford shuts down our run to an extent. Shuts down Riley Leonard. Let's put it like that. Hope Stanford shuts down Riley Leonard's run. Because if anything, they're going to look on film and say that's coming. That's the number one source of offense is Riley Leonard running the football. And Stanford being the eggheads that they are, I'm sure they're going to have a game plan for Riley specifically running the football. Not so much Jeremiah Love because he's a running back and we only give it to him sparingly when we need to get out of trouble. Hopefully we use that as motivation to give him the ball, not when we're in trouble, but to put trouble on them, which in turn I think will help give the confidence to Riley, like, listen, this is the time. If anything, I'm hyped if I'm Denbrock at the podium. Like, this is the time we can show we can throw the ball. They're going to give it to us. I'm going to go to the podium and be like, they're going to give us the throwing. We practice all week on doing it. I don't care if they hear us.
Lefty said that. He said they do a good job of outnumbering you in the run game.
Yeah.
That means that's less on the back end.
That's on the back end. And he knows that. He's like, listen, they're going to give it to us. And we all this talking, y'all talking about we missing this and that. He ain't looking. Well, he don't have a choice now because there's going to be a lot of guys open downfield. That's where the 230 come in. That's why I'm like, 230 is speaking to me right now.
Okay, Prophet.
Now, if he doesn't, then we know exactly where the problems lie. You're trying to fit a square into a circle hole. If we just go,
I don't know if there's a circle that's not a hole, but
square into a hole. No, there's different types of holes. There's different whatever. But anyway, different shaped holes. Whatever.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, so yeah, all the way
Oh,
think that
man.
we're not gonna bang our head against the wall if it doesn't work, and we shouldn't waste quarters doing that. I don't want to go into the fourth quarter where it's 10-10 and we have tried to run the hell out the ball against nothing, a stifling wall of a defense. It's 10 out there in the box, and we just steadily trying to force right. I do not want to watch that because it's too many good games. I'm gonna be honest, it's too many good games this week to be watching that for 3 quarters. And then
I'm mad that Texas and Oklahoma is no longer a noon kickoff. And I'm like, what are we doing now, SEC? Leave it in its traditional spot. Why are you messing with the 2:30 spot? Why?
Because of Arch Manning.
Now I need Notre Dame to blow this open early. Get this out the way.
Get it out the way, because I
Get
will
this out
change
the
the
way.
channel this week. I will
Yes.
change the channel.
Absolutely.
And not think twice about. I probably won't even check back. I'll probably check the box scores on the phone before I turn the channel if we out there doing that bull jive of scoring minimal points. Because there's gonna be a lot of points scored this week in these games. So let's follow the trend, get on the scoring totals, and throw the football. And I think that's just the theme of the game. Throw the football. Throw the football. Stanford's probably begging us to throw the football. They said, look, if we can scare them maybe 1 or 2 times and get lucky and get a pick or something, they're going to run the ball. And that's what we want. We just need to keep it close. That's what Stanford wants. Stanford said we're going to keep it close by running the ball and defending the run. If they get a couple passes off, we're not going to let that waver our defense and trick us into going too high safeties. We're not doing it.
That would be equal. You know what? Notre Dame should take that and treat it like a team facing the Golden State Warriors, saying we're going to stop them from making layups.
Yes. Yes.
Like, you're going to do what?
We're
going to defend the paint and stop them from making layups. So you're just going to let them shoot threes?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to let them do? That's what you're going to do? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And that's exactly the mindset, because there's just no way in my mind, knowing the history that we have with Stanford and how tough it's been running the football through all the years, that we will sit there and Denbrock's been a part of this Stanford Notre Dame rivalry. He knows what it takes to win the game. You got to throw that rock. Every film that we've seen throws the rock.
Listen to this first 15 seconds left. I just want to point something out. The first, just listen to this.
There's definitely a balance to it for sure. And I think a lot of it has to do with, sometimes the people that we're playing against in the scheme that they run defensively dictates a little bit more quarterback run than maybe you even want to do. But, I mean, these are important football games, and we need to win every one of them.
No.
When are we going to be the offense that dictates?
He tried to do some reverse psychology.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? The reverse psychology is we're only good at running right now with Riley. So because of that, defenses have tried to defend that part of our offense. So that's what he means dictate. Yeah, if we're going to only run it, they're going to only try to defend that. So you can reverse psychology and act like they're coming out to stop the run and Riley, but really that's all we do. They know the numbers. They're like, damn, their quarterback got more rush yards. Yeah, we're gonna come out and stop Riley. Don't say the defense dictate. Defense is reactionary. That's what defense is, just philosophically. It's a reactionary side of the football. So what they're doing is they're seeing what we're doing to score points, and they're trying to defend, which naturally makes them the reactionary, the other side of the equation. Not the formula. Our formula been Riley left, Riley right, Riley down the middle. And the only reason why we've been that is because we've dictated to the defense, we're not going to do nothing else. We're not going to show you nothing else. Our way to win is through 13. That's what we put on film. Our way to win is running the ball with 13. Don't try to put it on the defense like defense is respecting us so highly that they coming out with all freaky type of defenses to defend Riley. No. We're being freaky by trying to put Riley in all type of positions to go score points. And that's the tendency that I believe we should break this week with 2 weeks to do it. What's that? 10 practices.
Can I
10
say,
practices.
can I give you something disturbing from Marcus Freeman? There's a lot said that was disturbing from Marcus Freeman's press
Marcus Freeman
conference
crazy.
yesterday. I'll let you guys talk about that on Players Only. Matter of fact, Players Only episode dropped this morning over on Patreon. Go check it out. Notre Dame's Riley Leonard ranks 153rd out of 154 quarterbacks in play action percentage per Pro Football Focus. Leonard's play action rate is just 11.2%. Marcus Freeman, when asked about it, said, if we believe play action passes are going to be productive against the defenses we're facing, we're going to call it. Your silence says everything.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like,
look at hey, shout out to our boy Levon Whitaker.
yeah, he said, "How you gonna do it?"
No, you're gonna like this next question.
I like his question already. He said, y'all averaging 200 and Stanford's only allowing 80. How y'all gonna win this game? He's Denbrock talking about, really? You don't play, Denbrock. You know that you intentionally had a marker of yards on your whiteboard in your office and said, we don't get over this rushing, we won't ever win a game because we can't do it in passing. So we know 200 is probably the goal in mind every week because we're like, listen. He even tried to throw it more in Louisville and got scared. Second half, we start running it. So it's interesting.
He had another question. Oh, listen to this one, Left. Woo, shout out to our boy LeBron Whitaker. You cooking this year, bro. You cooking.
Chris is a complete all-in team member.
Wait, well, I thought I put the question in. LeBron asked him, Left, a guy like Chris Mitchell, who had over 1,000 yards receiving last year.
The most receptions in college football. The most receptions in college football.
Like, how is he feeling with how the offense is going right now? Like, knowing that he's not getting the touches that he probably expected to get at Notre Dame.
He has less than what, 10?
Man. This is Mike Denbrock, what he said.
Yeah, Chris is a complete all-in team member, number one. And, we talk all the time to our guys about what they can do to make sure this gets more consistent, right? And that's really where I want everybody's focus, right? Individually, what can I do to make sure this gets more consistent and gets to be something that we can really rely on and becomes a strength as we move forward? If they take care of that, then the collective will take care of itself.
He's pissed. He's like, why'd I come here? If I'm a PJ Tucker. He was Zach LaVine for the Bulls at FIU, just scoring 50 points a game, star of the team, the rally cry and the motivation for success, like Zach LaVine is in Chicago.
Can the wide receivers red shirt to come back next year?
He not coming back. Are you kidding me?
Like, most people are red shirting now to go.
Chris Mitchell, we haven't heard from him because he's over there taking offers from us.
I would walk in, I would say, Coach, I don't want to leave, but can I red shirt until the other dudes are quarterbacking? Can I do that? Would people call me a quitter?
Man,
if I
Chris
red
Mitchell
shirted,
probably highly disappointed. He's highly disappointed. He can't get drafted off of this kind of season. He can't get drafted off receiver screens and bubbles all year. He can't get drafted with the ball underthrown and he's 5 yards in front of the guy. He can't get drafted like that. So, yeah, we wasted and are wasting a lot of what Chris Mitchell could have added to this offense. Now, if he was being a little bit wiser in his recruitment and not looking at the glitz and glamour, which we do a good job of presenting, a magic show, a bunch of illusions, a bunch of what's over here, and then we give you some over here. What he should have saw was Rico Flores be the number one receiver as a true freshman and then leave. How are you the number one receiver as a true freshman and then leave right after the season? So those are some of the things that go over our head when we're so enamored with the potential. I think the potential that Notre Dame has in the receiver department, the potential it has in the pass game, the potential you watch when you're looking at the games on TV, you like, oh my God, with a good receiver, they'll be next level. but they didn't watch that the organizational trickle down effect that happens through the top, through the quarterback position, and on there going on forward. There's only so much you can do. And then we talked about it also when he came in. We said, you're going to have to be a role player. This isn't a 71 reception just for you type of team anyway. Not even, that's even if we were to be activated offensively in that aspect. You're not getting 71 regardless. But can you handle 35, 40 receptions? Now, it's even less than that, unfortunately. But I think Denbrock is seeing that he came into a situation where he learned early on. He said these are must-win games. He didn't say he out there just trying to play around and create and try and experiment with things. He said these are must-win games. So what do? You do what you're going to have to do to win. He said all that stuff I like doing, we nixing that after the second game. And he probably had to have a conversation. He probably called Chris Mitchell in the middle of the night and say, listen, don't take it personal, but we have to win these games. It's not FIU where you can just do whatever because winning games are inconsequential to the total perception of your program. Yeah, FIU wants to win, but hey, we're going to do whatever out there. We're not having the expectation if we don't win these games, we're not going to be here next year. And I think Chris Mitchell's finding out a little bit about that. You know, he understands, he's all in because losing is even worse. So you naturally become all in because you realize that at some point, winning is more important than individual stats. And when you see how hard it is, how much of a struggle it is to do the things that you are expected to do, you just kind of focus on, well, I'm glad we 4-1. Now, the thing Denbrock has to do is find a way. This is why it's hard to blame kids all the time when you're a good coach. When you're a bad coach, it's easy to blame kids. But Denbrock is a good coach. So finding ways to activate things that he knows we need to do to win the game on a level of championship, he knows at some point we're going to have to find Chris Mitchell down the field in some fashion. And I think that's why this bye week has been so pivotal, is because he understands guys like Chris Mitchell are guys that need the football. And you're not going to attract anybody else of that caliber doing the things we're doing with Riley. So it's a catch-22 in that aspect.
And I have a couple of wide receivers from the 25 class on campus tomorrow too, bro. You need to see something. They need to see something. They need to be able to watch guys and see themselves in this offense. You know, like I said, you had a quarterback recruit from 27 said, man, I can't even really consider the offense until I see CJ in it. It's like, because I know this is not the offense that I can play in.
He probably feels like he's in Chicago.
Relax, man. Relax. I was going to take a shot, but I'm going to relax, bro.
Now, Chicago looking good. Caleb got 3 touchdowns, you know.
Marty Biaggi, you spoke about special teams and your 3 keys. This is what he said special teams focused on.
We quality controlled and looked over, the good and the bad. I'd say the biggest, points of emphasis were ball security and protecting the football. We have to do a great job anytime we're involved in a play where we could have an exchange, handing the ball from the defense to the offense in a play. So really going back and trying to see, okay, what areas were we lacking a chance, or where we caused ourselves to not be explosive. And so, you see it a couple times, obviously, with our with the kickoff return, with the punt return, and trying to address those issues. And then we really tried to hone in on a couple other things that we feel like we've done really well, and increase it, in terms of our kickoff coverage being really a weapon, striving for more, really trying to even get James more and more comfortable, considering he's had 2 really good, games back to back, and been able to make an impact.
Coach Salad, he said a bunch of.
And you know what? This is solving the punting issue with James Rendell was real simple. You know what it was? Let him do what he does.
Yeah. It's not overcoached that position.
Oh my! Whoa, what? Wait a minute. We saw him punt the ball 50 yards consistently with 4.3 hang time in camp, punt regular. You allow him to do that? Two straight games. He's punting 2 straight games.
And make it even more simple. Put guys back there that are dynamic. I'm not saying that the guy isn't dynamic.
Oh no. First of all, he's not dynamic. Stop.
No, they boosted up. Oh, Coach Freeman's so happy that they back there and they're a big part of the team. Yes, we get that. Put the dudes that's gonna be playing on Sunday in the special teams lineup.
Facts.
That's it. If you ain't playing on Sunday, you can't be back there. This is not a charity position where it's like charity basketball. We get all the kids from the deaf and blind schools, and we get the kids from the homeless shelters and the reservations and all that, and we bring them up and we bring them on the field and we all clap for them. This is not that for special teams. Put the guys on Sunday back there and we'll get touchdown results. I just think that's a simple formula like it is for the kicker. Just let him kick. We over there trying to overcorrect and come up with new ways because he's Australian or something and try to fit his homeland and rugby style and all of that. No. Just kick that thing downfield. That's all. Hell, try a onside. We ain't see the onside in a minute. Can he do that? So I think the whole dynamic ability needs to come back to special teams. Because when it does, man, I mean, we were scoring in the 50s and 60s, well, 40s and 50s when we had special teams being dynamic. That's all I'm saying.
Huh? Pushback from me. Lucky Lefty podcast. Jeremiah Love. I love Jake, the swag, the confidence. He's just, like, hey, man, hey, it is what it is. He was asked about that screenplay, Love, against Louisville. This is what he had to say.
All week, it's a great play. Like I knew if we caught it was gonna hit, guaranteed. I mean, when Coach called, I was excited because I knew I was gonna score. I mean, I knew the end. I knew he was gonna rush upfield. What we was told in practice to do, what the O-line was told to do is just give a bad block, let him go upfield. And as soon as I seen him go upfield and I ran right under him, I'm like, it's going to the crib. So we practicing all week and we executed perfectly.
And then in fall camp, you mentioned you added a couple pounds of good weight. Have you kind of felt that pay off this fall?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I can take a lot more hits. Shoot, with the shoot, but yeah, the weight has most definitely helped. I take a lot more hits. I can run through people, and people are scared to tackle me up high, so they go a little bit lower, so I can set up a hurdle maybe. But yeah, the weight has most definitely helped, and it just helps me to last a little bit longer.
Well, you start eating training table, and it gets cold up there. So you gotta keep feeding the beast, feeding the machine, and you definitely gonna gain weight. You eat that training table up there consistently. A lot of guys, I don't know how they so picky. They don't eat this and that. I'm like, we get spreads. You know what I mean? Like I was taking stuff home. I'm taking full advantage. I'm telling you, I don't know what's wrong with these kids don't want to eat. But you can eat at Notre Dame. And finally, you probably started doing that because a lot of this lifting and weight training.
Left is that dude in your crew that always needs to stop for a snack.
Yeah.
Headed to the party, man.
Get the gas station real quick.
The gas station. Slurpee real quick, man. Let's stop
real quick.
Like, fam, what are you talking about, man? Oh, we gotta go catch up with these girls. Man, let's stop and get some chips right quick. What are you talking about? We're heading to somebody's crib to literally eat pizza. Why are we stopping?
Because y'all want to eat in front of the girls. That's the number one worst rule you can do. What are you eating in front of girls for? What are you malnourished? You can eat in front of them and watch me go ahead and slide and have a conversation.
Like, dude, we headed to practice. Hey man, I gotta stop by the Google and get a snack real quick before
Absolutely.
we get to class.
Hey, because guess what? My weight's good. My weight's always been consistent. I ain't never had to do no weight check or no gotta get an extra protein shake. You got they over there treat you like you got some crazy problems when you ain't eating right like you're supposed to be. So yeah.
That guy Ryan Lofton said I'm the same way for sure. That's crazy, man. That's my little brother too. My little brother, man, he always has to stop and get something sweet. Like the gummy lifesavers, the gummy Skittles, the sour strings, the fruit punch sour strings, something. He has to have something, bro.
Man, listen. Look, many people like to think, because you know what the worst part is? When you have a good night and you out, and then it gets to the later time, now people want to talk about they hungry. No. When everything closed.
So when you're ready to go to sleep, you don't want to hear anything about
I don't want to hear nothing about I'm hungry because I'm like, but you don't want to stop for 5 minutes because you so yeah, all right, yeah, okay. Don't come to me, though. You cannot have none of my stuff. No, I'm not taking you nowhere. It's late. I'm tired. You should have been thinking about that.
petty, bro.
I'm
petty.
We here with it. We here. Because usually by the end of the night, we got something going on. Look,
that's true.
Don't be hitting me now. I'm about to go slide out. I'm about to leave with you.
I'm about to drop you off.
I'm dropping, I'm not making no stops now.
Right.
Look, we done had stops before. I'm straight to the crib. You see, guys, y'all got it back. Y'all got it mixed up.
Oh man, Lucky Lefty podcast. LeVon Whitaker, my brother, keep doing your thing. You hear me? Keep doing your thing. Because this right here, boy, you dropped a bomb on me.
Hey, I'm telling you,
Hey, this one?
You probably had a thought that you're going to be the primary back, or at least one of them, along with Jadarian Price. Did you ever think that this point in the season, or at some point in the season, that you would be second in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns to your quarterback, the guy that, because of his ability and production, kind of,
we need the real answer.
Game for game with his productivity.
I mean, like, it wasn't expected, but at the end of the day, I don't really think nothing of it. I mean, whatever helps the team win, that's really, all I'm really thinking about. How can I help my team? And if, I'm the second leading rusher, second leading, in touchdowns, but we winning, shoot, hey, as long as it's working. I mean,
you better laugh.
Conversation with Riley or thoughts with Riley, because he has a productivity, how helpful, it's helpful to you guys as a run game. Did you expect to have that added piece, I guess, to the run?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like, we most definitely expected Riley to, contribute to the run game a lot. And shoot, we embrace it. If it's a design play for Riley and we involved in the blocking game, shoot, we're gonna block to the best of our ability to make sure that play is successful. And we really, as a running back room, we doing anything to help the team win. So whether it's blocking, whether it's running, whether it's catching, whatever it takes to help the team win, we're gonna do it.
Hey, Mr. Love, Mr. Jason Love, you raised your son well. You raised him right, boy. You raised him right. That's good home training, there, boy. That's good home training.
He got to laugh some of that off because he know good and darn well. He's like, what are we talking about?
He said, I didn't expect
second. He said he couldn't even answer it, but he said second, and I'm okay with that. You're like, no, I'm not, and he shouldn't be, and that's where he should be a good teammate. Be like, hey, and we push Riley to want to be better in other areas because we need that ball. Me and Jadarian already looking at each other like, who getting this? It's already too much who's getting this on the sideline. So we need to encourage our guys around us to be able to make plays, right? Like, the second to the QB is insane. The only time you second to the QB is if the QB is about to be a Heisman candidate. Where you second to like a Lamar, or second to like a Kyler Murray, or second to a guy that's running and throwing the football. He's just running. So if anything, it's a funny question to ask because you're like, how is that even possible? How is it even possible? He should have been like, man, we need to get a guy in there that can get me the ball. and he throw the ball. Like this ain't a wildcat offense. Because then that's gonna look bad on him. They're gonna be like, man, with Jeremiah Love, we think you're a first rounder, but your quarterback got more rushing yards than you. What's up with that? That's the question that he got to answer. So, oh my goodness, I think he did a great job answering it.
Yo,
He didn't answer it true,
you
but he
pair
answered.
this. You pair this with what Mike Denbrock said in his answer about the offense when he said Riley's on board with his role in the running game. No kidding.
No,
Really?
yeah.
Really? Like you had to coax him into being on board for being a major part of the
Riley
run game.
told you. He told you first day out of injury, take that red jersey off. I'm on board like that. Take that red jersey off. I don't want to pass. If I was Jeremiah Love, I would have been talking about that take the red jersey off quote since the beginning of camp. What do you mean take the red jersey off? Put it on. I got the blue jersey. Riley Leonard, not you. If you running this much, I mean, you might as well, we might as well have QB and running back room meetings together. So it just, the frustration, is vast, I'm sure. But, the whole, he's only saying it because they're winning games. If we wasn't winning games.
I bet you he wasn't saying that in the dorm room after Northern Illinois.
I bet you he wouldn't say that if we was 3-2 or 2-2 or 1-4. So he's winning is the biggest Band-Aid for any situation in sports, in life.
That's a fact.
If you winning, it's all good. It's all good. And that's why he probably had to think about it for a second and be like, okay, it's not that bad because at the end of the day,
winning in money.
We're winning games.
Winning in money.
But if we wasn't winning no games, what is Jeremiah Love's answer then? Because he can't fall back on winning.
Nope.
He can't fall. It's easy to fall back on, we all get it. We win. Oh, don't worry about it. I could be 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 8th. We winning games. If we ain't winning games, what you say then? Oh, see, then we gotta talk about it for real. Now we gotta say, okay, we ain't winning games because you ain't giving me the rock. You trying to get a quarterback the ball. So thank goodness that LeVon asked it now instead of being under 500. He should have asked it when we lost to NIU. Then he should have asked it right then and there because now we got to ask the question. But that's a great answer for a guy that wants to continue to stay in the good lighting and the good stewardship of Notre Dame media, but also being a good teammate to a guy that's struggling. And it goes back to the same thing. What are we saving this guy so much for? I remember a time when, hell, they was even putting Ian on blogs and talking about he trash and putting me on blogs and SHAUN on blogs about how trash we was. Ev on blogs about how trash. So they protecting Riley like he is the royal family. So
if that's an Irish proverb, New Rockney, that's one of the worst proverbs I've ever heard in my life. Bite your tongue, keep your friends. I don't know, dude. I have all my childhood friends in my life still to this day. And the last thing we do to each other is bite our tongue. That's the last thing we do. We keep it 1,000 wow.
Yeah.
No, that's not it, bro. No, sir. We're not doing that. You look crazy. You sound crazy. That I don't care who it was. Jesse McChrist, that's crazy. His friends must have been shaky. Real shaky. They must have forgot. Like Kendrick said. Nah. Nope. I'm not biting my tongue. That was my boys. Yeah, that's that yes man mentality. That's that clutch sports mentality, dog. We don't do that. We don't do that. That's that clutch sports stuff. Yeah.
Clutch Sports holds himself to a high standard now.
Yeah, man. That's how you get it. It's good. That type of mentality gets a young man into the NBA where he averages 0.3 points a game in 3 preseason games. That's your bite your tongue.
Professionals job security. Professionalism is about job security and making the most money you can. College sports is a different scale. College sports is a different scale.
That kid has to worry about money. That kid has to worry about the stock.
We're talking about clutch sports. We're talking about clutch sports.
What you talking about? I thought you talking about Bronny.
No.
Bronny has to worry about money.
Wait, oh, hold on. That's a hold on now. Now you know that's a very elite special position. That's different. That's different. And everybody acknowledges it's different. Let's not act like it's just some normal process.
I didn't say anything was wrong with the process. I just said the fruit of the process shows that he stinks. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, hold on, wait. He's supposed to average double right now. He's a rookie.
I just need him to average 1 point a game.
Man,
that's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for 1 point a game.
Hold on now.
I'm asking for 1 point left. Wait a minute, you telling me I can't expect a kid to average 1 point a game in the NBA? What are we asking?
Can we get through preseason?
What are we doing? What is he going to do in the regular season?
Wait a minute. He's going to get better.
I'm asking for one, left. You act like I said 8.
That's petty. That's petty. What about the effort on the defensive end?
Can I get 1 point per quarter?
He's got 3 blocks. He's averaging 2 or 3 blocks a game.
He is not averaging 2 or 3 blocks a game. You need to stop.
He's got what? What he got? 2 or 3?
Left.
Come on, man. You talking about just have one? Come on now. It's professional. It's hard to do.
Stop, man. What are we doing right now? Stop. I can't. You are seriously defending this right now.
Let him grow. He only got what? A total of 25
minutes. He's not growing another inch. That's the problem. He's not growing another inch physically.
And neither is Darius Garland, neither is Kyrie, and he about the same size.
Did you just mention his name and utter his name in the same sentence?
We talking about height. We talking about height.
He's
left.
He is in the preseason. He is averaging 0.7 points per game, 1 rebound per game, 0.3 assists per game, and 9% from the field. Are you kidding me, Left? Are you kidding? 9% left. Stop. You can average 9% from the field, bro, right now. You can walk
wet.
He's getting what?
He's getting his feet wet. It's just a couple games. Let him work into the rotation, get the offense down. Oh my goodness. What are you supposed to average? A double-double? What are you supposed to average? Double-double? See, Sean's the problem. SD2 might.
God almighty! This man said he's getting his feet wet.
Yo.
Like he has to go, like he is an infant that needs to go to the shallow end of the pool. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
We're talking about a kid that has to work into a system.
Stop saying kid. Stop saying
kid. He has to work into a system.
Kid.
What is he, grown man?
He got to be a grown man. It's a grown man league.
Okay.
Is this not a grown man league?
Okay. First of all.
Okay, man.
He's working into a system. You heard what JJ Redick said. We work in sets. We work in the rotations. He's getting his feet in there, man. What is he supposed to average, Sean? A double-double?
Left. All I asked for was 1 point per game.
No,
that's all I asked for.
That's petty. How many opportunities?
That's petty. That is just. Yo, are you kidding me?
He wasn't a scorer in college. He's like his dad. He's a pass-first guy.
Terrence Shannon from Chicago. He's averaging 8 points per game. Coming off the bench for the Minnesota.
It's Chicago.
Modest for the Bulls. The kid from Chicago. So first of all, I just gave you 2 kids from Chicago that got drafted. He's averaging 13 points a game. Are we really gonna do this?
Because Bronny's game
is trash.
The league isn't about
scoring. It's trash.
The league isn't about scoring.
His game is, as of today. I can't speak for the young man's work ethic and his future. He decides that. But as of today, his game in NBA standards is trash.
He's getting started.
Trash.
You know who was trash also in the beginning?
He's trash. Carlos Boozer's twins just committed to Duke. They're both better than Bronny right now.
How can you say that?
It's players on Duke. Cooper Flagg is better than Bronny right now.
Different games. They're different games.
You're right. One has an NBA game. The other one doesn't. You're right.
Bronny will be fine.
Fine where? In the pocketbook? Yeah. He's set for life. He is set for life. He is set for life.
Shaun, this is considered
He is set
hating
for
on the
life.
young man.
Let me ask you a question.
It's considered hating on the young man.
Who is better? Who had better college stats? Marcus Jordan or Bronny James? Go look it up.
Marcus Jordan ain't even get to the league. What we talking about?
Yeah, his daddy wasn't in the league.
What?
We all know you just admitted the only reason Bronny got drafted is because of his father.
No.
Malik, I will throw this laptop right now.
The Warriors came out and said they love Bronny's skill set, and the reason why they didn't draft him is in respect to his dad.
PR.
What do you mean?
It's called PR.
From another team?
Public relations.
Another team.
He's boo-boo.
The Lakers didn't say that. The Warriors said that.
Boo-boo.
The Warriors said we would have drafted him but we didn't out of respect to his dad. He would have been a Warrior with Steph, shooting threes.
That cat Bronny's field goal percentage is lower than Riley Leonard's play action rate, bro. Think about that. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in while he gets his feet wet.
Opportunity.
Let that sink in while he gets his feet wet. That's the LL question today. Who's better than Bronny? Who's better than Bronny?
As a rookie, is on his third game in the league.
My
Come on,
8-year-old cousin is better than Bronny.
Oh, see, you disrespect.
The top 20 girls in CPS are better than Bronny.
Not with that girls commercial talking about.
Better than Bronny.
Hold on now. Not with that girls commercial.
Common as a movie. Yeah. Common as an actor is better than Bronny. I can keep going. Kevin Hart is better than Bronny.
See, this is disrespect.
I got jokes today.
You lucky LeBron isn't our biggest sponsor. He would have pulled our sponsorship for talking so crazy about his son like
Jimmy
that.
Fredette is better than Bronny.
Come on now.
Hannah is better than Bronny. Oh, Olivia Miles, while you at it. They're all better than Bronny.
No.
Juju was better. Juju was better when he was at USC.
No. Juju would get locked up by Bronny.
Locked up where?
In the cage. Handcuffs. Double straight jacket.
That midget up.
Oh.
She'll post that midget up. Post him up. She will post
Bronny and LeBron gonna recreate that D Wade and LeBron Miami photo. That's what they doing. That's what they about to do this year. And then what you gonna say? Then what you gonna say? They gonna recreate that lob for the alley-oop. That's what they gonna recreate.
So now Lathan is better than Bronny. Omar Epps is better than Bronny. Gene Hackman as the coach in Hoosiers is better than Bronny. I got jokes today. I'm about to go through every basketball.
He is a professional basketball player.
Arthur Agee is better from the long-time movie out of Chicago. Arthur
Three
Agee
games in?
from
Three games in?
better.
3 games in? That's how you talking about?
The Shocker is better than Bronny.
3 games in?
Prince.
That's how you go. 3 games?
Prince in his grave got a better game than Bronny.
3 games in, this how we talking? You
Bow Wow. Thank you, Al. Bow Wow is better than Bronny.
The fact that you this quick to judgment on a 3-game span. Shaun, how much can you get from that?
Air Bud is greater than Bronny. Thank you, Irish AJ. Tosh Baker is better than Bronny. Let's get it, chat. Name everybody that's better than Bronny. Let's get it, chat. Let's get it. Everybody could be on the petty
off a 3-game window.
You get a petty car. You get a petty car.
Really?
You get a petty car. Riley
3 games.
Kane
3 games
is better than Bronny. The young Carol Taco Bell dog is better than Bronny.
No, y'all need to stop. This is hating on the highest level.
After 2 ankle surgeries is better than Bronny.
This the highest level of hating possible. 3 games can't tell you all that. 3 games do not tell you that.
Oh, dude.
Watch Bronny drop 20. Watch him drop 20 coming.
The new defense is better than Bronny.
The disrespect's too high right now. Too high, too high, too high.
Oh, my man Luke Breeden said Billy Hoyle was better than Bronny.
Y'all should feel ashamed of
Oh,
yourself.
wait a minute. Irish AJ said Lindsay's release packages are better than Bronny.
This is highly disrespectful to Bronny James.
How about Michael Parks? Boom! The White Sox are better than Bronny.
We ain't never getting that sponsorship from Clutch now. Look at you. You done hate it. You didn't hate it so much. We ain't getting that sponsorship now. Now what are we talking about?
Oh man, wait a minute. The team from the Fish that say Pittsburgh. That's a throwback, Coach Vic. Boom. Justin Indy. He said the Indy offense is better than Bronny.
We're not going like that. We can't go like that. We can't go like that. How are we gonna get this sponsorship from Bron now? You done hated on the man so much.
These are Notre Dame fans, bro.
He might catch wind of this.
Responses. That's all
He might catch wind of this like Jay-Z did and Beyonce did a Jaguar White.
Duke's fried chicken is better than Bronny.
And they were 6-10. They were 6-10 right there. Y'all hating on the man in his third game in the NBA. I ain't seen nothing like it. This is why they need to get rid of social media. This is why they need to get rid of social media. 3 games in.
Anxious in the outfield couldn't say Bronny. Ooh. Oh man.
Yourselves know they ain't fans.
Huh?
They should feel ashamed of themselves for hating this much on a 3-game span.
Goldberg as Eddie is better than Bronny.
The man just had 3 blocks last game.
Dude, he's at.
You talking about the averages? We talking about game to game. What's game to game look like? What's game?
Averages don't matter.
Average is the middle.
Averages don't matter.
Talk about the middle. What about the height?
Averages don't matter.
It's the middle.
Averages don't matter.
What about the height?
Alakino said Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
Y'all should feel ashamed of yourselves.
Lori Lightfoot is better than Bronny. Oh, dude. Oh. I don't want any sponsorship connected. Oh man, you gotta love it. Game predictions left. Let's start with your game prediction. Notre Dame, Stanford, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, Notre Dame Stadium. Troy Taylor leads his Cardinals and the tree into Notre Dame Stadium. Ooh, Coach Vic with the Sunset Park reference.
I got us 38-14 Notre Dame.
$34-13. 34-13. I wish they would cover. I want them to cover. I'm just not sure they can. So I'll say 34-13. Screen poppers of the game, Left. Who will your screen poppers be?
Jay Nosberry, Chris Mitchell, because Denbrock needs to prove a point.
I'm sorry, the chat is hilarious. Oh man.
Chris Mitchell, Jay Nosberry. How many can we get? 3, 4?
Supposed to get 1 per side, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to add stats like they're gonna do for Bronny. He's probably not.
He don't add no stats. No, he's gonna get pure off the muscle.
Don't need to for 0.7 and 0.3.
In his third game. Come on. What are we talking about? He can't even. What are you gonna do in 3 games? Come on, we talking about
Average 1 point a game.
See, that's not his role.
Okay, Left.
You
Let's
see,
wait.
that's not his role.
Stop. Do you realize all he had to do to average 1 point per game in 3 games?
3 games is not a lot, Sean.
No.
They play 86.
Let me explain to you how easy it is to average 1 point per game in 3 games, Left.
Not the NBA.
No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because I watched the first game and he had 5 wide open of these.
His first game.
I mean, Left. All he had to do, listen to me. Would you just listen to me, Left?
Oh, you Darvingham? You Darvingham talking to me?
Just listen to me. Just listen to me. This is simple math, ladies and gentlemen. It's not difficult. All the young man had to do was hit 1 3. Just one, which means he would have had 3 points in 3 games, giving him a scoring average of 1 point per game. That's all he had to do. Hit one of the wide open threes he's had. Just one, Left. It's simple math. Just hit 1 3. That means you have 3 total points over the course of 3 games, which would give you an average of 1 point per game.
This is hating on another level.
That's all, Left. 1 point per game. That's
In 3 games? Really? In 3
all
games?
he had to do was hit 1 3. He couldn't even do that. He couldn't even do that.
This is disrespectful. For 3 games, you really taking it this far?
Yes.
You got a whole preseason. You got a whole preseason.
He can't even average 1 point per game.
This is not great.
You don't see, dude, as a former Notre Dame football player and an analyst and a big-time alum, you don't see the irony in begging your quarterback to throw for 150 and at the same time watching Bronny unable to average 1 point per game as a professional basketball player.
In 3 games, we really taking it this far? Come on now.
We've only seen Riley for 5.
No.
It's
We
only
see
5
Riley-
games.
No.
At Notre Dame, we've only seen him for 5 games.
No. We seen Riley.
What are you talking about? No, we've seen Bronny.
We seen Riley.
We've seen Bronny.
No.
At USC, we've seen him at USC, and we've seen him the first 3 games.
Bronny in the big leagues, though. That's different. That's different.
Notre Dame is in the big leagues.
We talking about college and pros. We seen Riley.
Huh?
We've seen Riley in college.
I said the wheelchair league is better than.
Y'all crazy.
Oh man. Ron Tubbs. I was at the thrift store yesterday and saw Bronny jersey.
What are you talking about? It's one of the top sellers, man. It's one of the top sellers. Don't do that.
Left. Bronny is one of the top selling what?
I'm saying Laker jerseys for the Lakers. You know, it's a hot pick now. Y'all really hating on my dog, man. I don't like that.
You need a new dog.
In his third game. In his third game.
It's not your friend. You need to put that dog to sleep.
Oh my goodness. His third game, Sean. What are we talking about? SD?
Oh, Luke Breeden pulled one. He said Luke Herringody is better than Bronny. Neil Ivy is better than Bronny, bro.
Well, Nia Ivy's a hooper. Shout out Nia Ivy. She's the greatest.
The fact that you agree with that says everything that we
hold on. She is the greatest Notre Dame basketball player.
Edgar Phelps right now is better than Bronny.
Never. But we're not about to skip past Nia Ivy and not give her credit. She is the greatest Notre Dame basketball player, coach of all time. All time.
Edgar Bennett right now.
I'm serious. Hold on now. Let's talk about it.
Damon Sweet
won a championship.
Is better than Bronny.
Coach
David Royal right now is better than
David.
Bronny. I'm now going to Orlando Woolridge right now is better than Bronny. LaFonso Ellis. I'll go down the list of former Notre Dame basketball players from the past. Jordan Cornette is better than Bronny James. You take your pick. Marcus Burton is better than Bronny James right now. Say he isn't, Left. Go ahead and lie.
You ain't doing right.
Marcus Burton is not a better basketball player than Bronny James.
You're not doing right.
Marcus Burton is not a better basketball player than Bronny James. Tell the truth, Left. Tell the truth. Tell the
I know
truth.
Marcus Burton isn't in the league. I know Marcus Burton isn't in the
You
league.
know why? Because he's working on his skills as he should.
Okay, that's fine. Bronny's got his skills right. He gonna be on the right team.
Name the skills. That's my point. Name the skills.
Defense.
That's
Defense.
not a skill.
It is a skill to play defense.
It's not a basketball skill. No, it is not.
How is it not?
Basketball skill.
You have to be skilled to play defense.
No, you do not. You have to give effort. Stop.
Effort.
Stop.
Effort.
Stop.
So there's no
Stop.
technique. So say that to Drew Holiday. Let's call Drew Holiday on the show and
Plenty
say
of cats, plenty of non-athletic cats that can play defense.
we didn't
What
say
you talking about?
athleticism. We said
He's
skill.
an athlete. That's
We
it.
said skill.
Name the skill.
Most people in the NBA got athleticism.
He's an average passer. His dribbles are
Whoa,
whack.
whoa.
What are you talking about?
Average passer. You
Yes.
didn't see them dimes he was dropping
To who?
to his team.
He's averaging 0.3. Oh, you kidding? He can't even average one per
You saying
game.
you talking about these numbers? I'm saying his passing skill. He got generational passing skill like
All
his
you had
dad.
to say was, like somebody brought, rebounding is a skill.
Rebounding is a skill. That's how
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman got famous.
Dennis Rodman was a great defender because of the effort he gave. And he was
Effort plays a
great
factor,
athlete.
yes.
He was
But
a great athlete with great effort
it
and
takes
length.
skill to play defense, aka Drew
Bro.
Holiday. You can learn how to play defense because it's a skill.
Name the slow, great defender. Name me the great defender that was non-athletic.
PJ
Name
Tucker,
him.
PJ Tucker, Pat Beverly. These are all non-athletic players.
PJ Tucker is not a great defender, dog.
Huh?
He gets eaten up by every great player he faces
You've been in the league for 15 years being a skilled defender.
for
What
being
are you talking
physical.
Come on, man. You trying to convince me it don't take skill to
How
play
many
defense.
defensive player of the years has he won? Keith Bogan stayed in the league.
Why is there a defensive player of the year if there's no skill involved? Come on now. Come on now. Why is there a defensive player of the year if there's no skill involved? Come on now.
Coach Vic, hopefully, thank you for saying that. TJ McConnell is not a great defender.
He's not.
He gives maximum effort. This
But
is
he's not a
my
great
point.
defender. But he's not a
All
great
you have to
defender.
do is you can play
No,
defense if you give maximum effort, bro.
I don't agree with that. You need
Okay,
to
you don't have
play
to.
good
You don't
defense.
have to.
You have to play. So what is Wemby?
He's an incredible. He's a
Elite
freak
skill.
athlete. Okay, he's a great defender. Wait. He's an elite defender.
Great shot blocker.
No. He's an elite defender.
Great shot
No.
blocker.
He's 7. Dude, are you kidding me? You want me to go pull up the scrubs that average 2 blocks a game in the NBA because they were 7 feet?
They
No,
had
no.
30 years.
Listen. Who can he stop one-on-one right now?
Who?
He's a great defender, right?
Who?
Who can he stop one-on-one that's elite at his position? Who?
Anybody he wants to.
He stop Embiid put 50 on him. Jokic killed him every time they play. Name the big man that he can stop one-on-one right now that's elite. Name it.
He guards more than one position though.
Answer the question, Lev.
A big man. I don't know. There's only 2 big men in the league.
Defenders can stop the best players.
There's only
Name
2 big men in the league.
Okay, name the elite big man he can stop.
He's only 2. It's only 2. It's Jokic and Embiid. Those are only 2 big men in the
He
league.
can't stop Anthony Davis either. So, like I said, name
Anthony Davis is an NBA All-Star. What are we talking about?
left.
There are more players than the 3 NBA All-Stars you named in the NBA. There's 100 and something NBA players. He can stop. You name the top 3 players.
We have low standards for the word elite defender, bro. Charlie Ward was not an elite defender in the NBA.
This is going back to skill. It takes skill to play defense.
No, it does not take skill. It takes
To be a top elite defender, yes, it does.
Dude, coaches that coach basketball, bro. I've been coached in the game. Any coach will tell you You don't need skilled athleticism to play defense. Give me effort.
Come on now. That's a broad term. What does that mean?
Give me effort.
You can do effort in a lot of things and not be good at it.
Yes, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman had what? What physical traits? This is what made them elite.
Scottie Pippen was a 6'7" guy that could guard the wing.
They were players that gave you maximum effort with length and athleticism, and that made them elite defenders.
But they were skilled in how they played defense. What do you mean? How did Patrick Beverly survive in the league so long?
What's the skill?
You have to have the
rate of how they scooted their feet.
Wait.
The rate of how they moved their feet. Wait a minute, because this drill right here, right? This drill right here, right?
Jaylen Brown already said it was a skill.
Right?
Jaylen Brown already said it was a skill. The anticipation.
Would he say that? Wait. Would Jaylen Brown say that if he wasn't 6'9" with long arms and 250 pounds and could jump out the gym? Would he feel the same way?
But there's a lot of 6'9" guys in the NBA.
So once again,
but a lot of 6'9" guys can't play defense. Jokic can't play no defense. He's 7 feet.
He's of course, but he gives you effort.
No, he don't. He don't play no great defense.
Because he's not a great defender. How can you expect he doesn't have
the skills to play?
To be an elite defender.
If effort was all it took, everybody would be a great defender.
I didn't say that's all it took. I just gave you the formula. You don't want to listen.
The formula, but that formula don't match with younger, smaller players that are great defenders.
Who? Name them.
I did. PJ Tucker's a great defender. He's smaller.
He's not a great defender.
He
plays hard. He's not a great defender. He plays hard. Every time he gets in the playoffs, an elite scorer lights his tail up because he's too small, and his whole game is about being physical and giving max effort.
So you telling me
elite defender?
So Bruce Bowen is not a great defender?
Bruce Bowen was 6'6" with long arms. What are you talking about?
The whole league is 6'6". The whole league is 6'6". So what we talk about height for? The whole league is 6'6".
You do realize PJ Tucker is 6'4".
We said Bruce Bowen, and you said his height.
So basically, you just agreed with me. He's 6'6" with long arms.
He has great technique. Oh, he's not considered one of the greatest defenders on the wing for being tall. What do you mean? All the league is tall. The whole league is tall. He didn't get nominated a great defender because he's tall. Drew Holiday is the best defender. He's under 6'6".
It's physical. Drew Holiday's
under 6'6", and he's one of the best league defenders.
6'4".
That's how he made the Olympic team, because he's the best defender in the league. He's 6'4".
Okay,
he's got skill.
He's a great defender of guards, right? Why? No, listen to me. Why? He's a big guard.
Oh, he's a big guard. Big guard.
He's a 6'4" long arm guard. He plays like a 6'9" wing defender.
Okay, what's Chris Paul? Chris Paul was a great defender. What's that?
He's a big guard.
Chris Paul was a great defender in his younger years. Yeah, he led the league in steals. What do you mean?
Derrick Rose ate that dude up every time.
About one guy. Derrick Rose is MVP of the league. Derrick Rose is an MVP of the league. Chris Paul led the league in steals back-to-back years at his height. Tony Parker was a great defender.
Brandon Jennings dropped 50 on Chris Paul.
Oh my goodness, that was one time. You're gonna have a day.
No,
you're gonna have a day.
That's multiple times.
50 multiple times.
I can give you plenty of people that dropped off Chris Paul. He's not
Chris Paul. Chris Paul.
When Chris Paul came down to Champaign as the best point guard in the nation with the #1 Wake Forest Deacons and got lit up by Darren Williams.
See, look, you got Will C here talking about he's an outlier. No, he's a great defender because he has skill. What do you mean? Oh,
that's my point.
Now, Drew Holiday's not a great defender.
Your bar for being a great defender, you're looking at he averages 2 steals a game. That can be.
No, I'm not. I didn't talk about no numbers. I said it doesn't matter about height because it takes skill to play defense. That's why Drew Holiday, Bruce Bowen, I named 6'6" and 6'3".
Let me ask you a question. Is there a difference between great defensive backs that are great anticipators that lead to interceptions and great dudes that just are athletic and lock you up? Is there a difference?
Yes, there's a difference between
Okay.
One
the
has
difference?
skill and one's a gambler.
No,
One has
no,
skill
no,
and
wait.
one's a gambler.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you know,
Trey gave up the biggest plays.
Champ Bailey was a totally different athlete.
Yes, skill.
Totally
Skill
different
defending.
athlete. I was just trying to make him sound like he was skilled. That dude was a one-of-a-kind defensive back.
Because he had the best technique and skill. Yes, that's what made Champ Bailey.
So you have that mixed with why was Michael Jordan the GOAT? He was the most fundamental player. The players said it.
Cat just went on Club Shay Shay and said LeBron's the greatest player he's ever seen. What do you mean?
He's never seen Michael Jordan play on the court. What are you talking about? You didn't understand what he was saying? See, this is how news gets out there incorrect. Oregon, Ohio State, man. Go ahead.
Cat went in there and said that is the most talented basketball player of all time.
I never tell you about the nuances of quarterbacking because I didn't play quarterback. Don't talk to me about the nuances.
Coach Shay.
Don't talk to me about the nuances of basketball.
An all-star, by the way.
Go ahead, bro. Oregon, Ohio State.
That's not an all-star.
Oregon, Ohio State. Go ahead. Oregon, Ohio State, man. Come on, man. Go ahead, man.
Hey, I didn't say it. Cat said it. Cat said LeBron is the greatest basketball player.
Hey, man.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Cat, focus on your woman and not getting smacked by the coach. That's what you focus on. Go ahead, love. Ohio State, Oregon, man. Who you got, man?
I got Ohio State.
You gotta go, man.
Ohio State.
I gotta get to the church. Come on, man. I gotta go up there and pray.
I got Ohio State winning. I think it's gonna be closer to what people think. It'll probably be a 35-28 game. A game-winning touchdown by Jeremiah Smith, of course. Of course.
Texas, Oklahoma.
Texas.
Will Arch play?
Because it's a rivalry. I got it 35-17. I got them blowing them out.
Do you think Arch gets some snaps?
They gonna try. Peyton Manning's gonna make sure of that.
Okay. Ole Miss against your former head coach in LSU.
Brian Kelly's good for these games, but Garrett Nussmeier, he's not elite. So I got Ole Miss.
Let some people tell it he's a first-round pick.
That's how lowly the quarterback pool is this year. But I got Ole Miss winning 30-20.
30-20?
Mm-hmm.
At LSU, huh? Okay.
LSU.
All right. Here's the big one, boy. Here's a big one. This might solidify. If it goes the right way, this might solidify your theory. They might not have a choice after this one. Kansas State on the road at Colorado.
I wanted to be a high-scoring game. I wanted to be like 45.
It will be a high-scoring game.
I want 45-41 Colorado.
Okay. All right. This game is all about the Colorado defense.
Yeah.
If Colorado's defense gets a couple of stops, bro,
game over.
Kansas State is going to try to come in, run the ball, run game.
Be physical.
With Avery. And take some shots, bro. They get two or three stops. Yeah. Colorado should be able to come out with a victory, but their defense is going to be amazing. I can't wait. For the first time, I'm going to watch a full game of Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise State.
Man, his first carries or touchdowns is crazy. It's like a video game.
It's like you talk about scouting and setting up the perfect play in the run game each week. That's man. This dude is averaging close to 190 a game, bro. Hold on, bro. I'm going to give you one more. Iowa State, West Virginia.
West Virginia, 17-14. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. They just sound like similar teams when you say it a bunch of times, so that's what I got it. But, yeah, man, I think there's gonna be a good slate of games, man. Can't miss it. Hit the bar on the way, man. Watch the game, and go from there. But it should be a good weekend for Notre Dame. We shouldn't have no problems, and we should win in favorable fashion. We shouldn't be losing in no barn burner, even though this is a team that takes us to the wire. But I think it's with the new regime over there and the new regime here, can't make this game close, and we should have a point to make when we're playing in this game that we want to go all the way. So yeah, Bama, South Carolina. Bama coming off that loss. I'm sure they're gonna pull some inspiration. Kalen Boyd's not a very inspirational dude. I wouldn't take him as an inspirational guy. I think he's a really good coach. So it may be a close game, Bama, South Carolina. They got to lose 5. They got 4 more to go, and they just lost to the worst team in SEC. So
no, they have to lose 5 for you. They don't have to lose 5. They
already lost 1. They got to lose 4. Let's start taking them down.
Yes, they lost 1.
And they're going to use 4 more. They got Tennessee to go through.
I never said Alabama was going to be top 10. I never said Alabama was going to be in the playoff.
Me neither.
I said they're not losing 5.
Well,
So
they got 4 more to go.
They can lose. All I need them to do is lose 4. That's all I need. I need 8 wins from Alabama. That's all I need. That's all I need, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, after you watch the end of that game, they looking like they're going to have some more problems down the way. They're going to have some more problems down the way.
Speaking of that,
talking about falling apart. Ooh, baby.
Speaking of that, the old ball coach has some interesting words. Let me see.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that defense gonna fall apart. They gave up 98 points in the last 2 games, something crazy. It don't get better week to week. I don't care how they throw temper tantrums. That just seems like the team falling apart. South Carolina might put it on them back to back. Ooh, then what?
Well, now you're doing a little bit too much.
Too much. Too much. Vandy did too much, scoring 40. The worst team in the SEC scored 40.
Man,
Come on,
you tip your cap to
fall apart. Is it Vandy or is it just a bad defense on Bama's team?
You just tip.
That what you see is a lot of peaks and valleys in college football right now, and a lot of guys, a lot of teams that have had big wins have significant letdowns, the next week. And I always talk about complacency, but if you put a little complacency with a little arrogance because you had a big win wherever it was, and then you don't focus on the right things the next week, you really don't get the kind of results that you'd like to have, because when you're not focused on the right stuff, your execution goes to pot in a hurry. So, I gave this, somebody sent it to me after Alabama got beat. It was a speech that I gave or at a press conference, but I always used the press. I used you and everybody in the press to get my message across to the team.
We thank you for allowing us to do that for you.
So, so I gave this thing, and I don't even know if I can sort of repeat it exactly right, but it was about nothing. If you, what are you entitled to when you get up in the morning? Nothing. What should you expect from other people? Nothing. If you have ability and you don't have discipline and focus, what do you get? Nothing. If you don't prepare the right way and pay attention to detail, what do you get? Nothing. So nothing is more important than trying to be the best you can be every day. But that was a message that I was using the media to send that to the team after a big win, because I was always much harder on the team when we won a game, and if we won a big game, I mean, it was hell to pay. And if we lost, I was like,
build up.
Yeah.
Make us feel better. Because players all feel terrible after a massive loss.
Yeah, nobody feels worse. That's what fans don't understand. Nobody feels worse about losing than the players.
Yeah. Because they got to deal with it. And also with social media, they're going to see a lot more of the reaction. Now, you just said something about complacency, arrogance, and a lack of focus being the reason why this can rat poison. I guess that would be the...
Well, the first two contribute to the last one.
Got it.
right?
Is that what rat poison is, though, right there?
Yeah.
Did you hear
That's
Rich
it.
Rodriguez was using that as one of his go-tos for his team against for Jacksonville State last week?
No, I didn't.
As soon as I heard it, I'm like, all right, Rich is doing his thing. Because normally he would just say, these motherfuckers, you know, and this time he said rat poison. I enjoyed it. I like that. Watch your mouth.
The fact that this cat, Pat McAfee, can say whatever he wants, bruh, yo.
They end up paying him more.
Bro, this dude just flat out boldly was like, mother, word? Really? But no, Coach Saban, man, he's right, bro. He's right, bro. Nothing. Ain't nothing owed to us. And nothing's owed to us, bro.
And that's why Saban is different than where they are today. I'm just saying.
Nothing's owed to us.
Got to give respect to Saban, which is why they losing 5 games. This is what's going to happen.
But he spoke about that, and maybe that's something that the Notre Dame coaching staff can grab hold to, because Notre Dame seems to be stuck in a place where they can't handle success. They'll get a big win, and then, like you said, they're focused on the wrong things. But yeah, Pat's wilding, man. That's like that's like at least a day suspension, at least.
But you know, he made too much money. It's really a money game. It seems like money and ratings. If he get the money and ratings, he can damn near get away with murder.
He's begging them to try, like, please suspend him.
Well, they just paid him more. So I mean, you know, if they didn't fire, at least they didn't fire Shannon after his debacle. At least they keeping it fair and consistent. Hell, Cam Newton got shamed by Shador and Travis and got hired by First Take the next week. So, I mean, everything seems to be backwards over there at ESPN.
I still got some people over there, man. Relax, bro.
I'm watching how they move.
There's still some good people over there, man. Shout out to the Cam Newton move, though. Cam has to get comfortable. He's a little, go ahead and be you. Be you, Cam. Don't try to be ESPN-ish. Be Cam. That's all you need to be.
Come on, be Cam.
Just be Cam, bro. That's all he needs to be. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Hey, put your predictions in the chat, ladies and gents. Let us know what you think the score is going to be. YouTube, subscribe, share, hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. Patreon.com, the Lucky Legend Podcast. And yo, let me tell you, the Lucky Legend Podcast was fantastic. Left, you missed this one because you actually had a game, but they talked about the tunnel fights, bro.
Oh man, all
of the legendary tunnel fights and some of Lou Holtz's best halftime speeches.
Which, you know, it's I get it, yeah.
That was 30 minutes of absolute joy to hear those guys talk about those battles, the tunnel fights with USC, Miami, other schools. They had a little scruff with one of the academies back in the day, bro. It wasn't as physical, but it was some chirping going on with the academies. I was like, man.
They press charges now. Like Michigan got them dudes that got press charges for whooping up on.
Michigan State hemmed old boy up, though.
Yeah, it's like whatever. One of them two got charged or something.
I don't know. I think he was dumb for being back there by himself in the midst of Michigan State, walking off the field. He was a dummy, first of all, and he probably was talking crazy by himself.
The whole pressing charges thing make the game not fun. Y'all pressing charges now? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Yeah, old boy was a goofy. He was a goofy. And I'm not.
That's why this whole facade ain't the same no more. They ain't tough. They gonna press charges. How you gonna press charges in a football game with pads on and you talking crazy?
Well, he had his helmet off though. He was a goofy.
You walking in the locker room talking crazy. What do you mean? This is what it's about. These just these cameras and these cameras these days, man. They got these.
Like back in the day, I don't know about you, but back in my day, we had to take the bus to go check out a young lady if we didn't have a car.
Yeah.
So we would hop on
work hard.
Public transportation, right?
Not being able to text a shorty. You got to get on that phone.
You call the phone, tell her the bus schedule, tell her the time the bus gets to that stop by her crib so she can meet you at the bus stop. Because if she doesn't meet you at the bus stop and they see you coming into their neighborhood and they don't know you, you're getting checked. You're getting checked. What set you from, homie? Where you live? Who are you over here for? Oh, you coming to see one of our girls?
Yeah, our girls. Yeah, the community on that.
Yeah, bro. You getting checked. You getting checked.
Getting to the ladies is different.
You get checked. So no, man, it's different out here, bro. The way things are now. Absolutely. I remember the first time I rolled up on her block. Her ex-boyfriend came down the alley with like 5 dudes. Right? I'm sitting on her girl's porch next to her with my boy. It's 2 of us. It's 6 of them. So of course he tries to front. He walks up, calls her out the porch. You know what I'm saying? My pride probably would have got me jumped.
More times than not.
You know what I'm saying? I could have jumped up. I sat there, kept it cool. You know, let him say whatever he had to say. And when he saw that I wasn't flustered, you know, eventually they left. You know, he said something like, man, come walk to the store with me. She was like, no. You know, she came back to the porch. Hey, yeah, dude. You gotta be smart, bro. I
think it's definitely more smart than pride. Man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I don't know, I'm in that neighborhood. I don't know what they're holding. Nah, bro.
Whatever they holding, I'm folding.
I'm over here. Y'all got it. Go ahead. I'm gonna sit over here and chop it up with my other people on the porch. Yeah, man. You gotta be careful out here, man. Be safe. Enjoy the game. Have a great weekend. Left, go get a W, bro.
Yes, sir.
Go get a W tonight, man. Call some good plays.
You already know, man.
Okay, Lucky Lucky Podcast for Left SD2 Mics. We'll see you guys after a big win. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out a big win against the Stanford Cardinal tomorrow afternoon. Have a great Wednesday and weekend. Make sure you continue to spin it different.